Oppenheimer. Specifically, Oppenheimer in IMAX theaters.
Yes.
Hot damn. Hot damn. I left this movie feeling so weird.
Dude, it's
so heavy.
It's a very heavy movie.
And it's such a freaking masterpiece.
We're talking about a 3-hour movie that is dialogue and just breathing and like emotion.
Dude, so we bring up IMAX because you actually are the one that pointed out that they marketed this movie to be watched in IMAX theaters. Man. And the sound, good God, it was loud.
It was very loud.
Oh my God, like the chairs vibrating with some of those scenes and stuff, and those super comfy heated seats too, with the giant screen. It was so incredible. Like I was so there. No. And I felt so immersed and so emotional.
Made me mad. Sorry.
Yeah, but you didn't know they were heated.
Yeah. How am I? You got a big man sitting in a seat.
Ass.
You had a big man sitting in a seat.
He had it on max heat.
And then like max 2.5 hours in, I'm like, bro, why is it so hot? Look down, freaking seat's red. Stupid chair.
Let's talk about the cinematography. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. You know, you expected some of the best.
Is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Inception.
Oh yeah, that was
Dark Knight
Nolan too. God,
Dark Knight, bro.
What a legend. What a legend.
The Dark Knight.
And the dude doesn't miss.
No.
And this one was not a miss.
It was not a miss either, but it's a very different movie.
The way they took, like, they'd use black and white and color was so good.
Yeah.
And it was a really good way because some people were confused with, like, the time jump. Some people said that was a little confusing. But I thought they did really well with it. One, with the black and white. Like, you kind of knew where you were based off it was black and white or in color. But then they also, like, soon into those scenes where they transitioned, they would use words like before the bomb or like after this, after that, before
the
this.
test, before the like, what was the name of the town? Los Santos? No, that's not it.
Shit. But the Manhattan Project.
Yes.
You know? And the dude wanted to destroy the town after they wouldn't have that. Whatever. The shooting was phenomenal.
It was great.
And of course, it's Christopher Nolan, so the CGI was minimal, and what was there was good, but the practical effects were so good. First ever practically created nuke on screen. Of course, it wasn't a real nuke, but he wouldn't disclose all of his tricks that he used to actually do it. He was like, nah, he's like, that's top secret. And I respect it.
That's a crazy part that I want to get into because, like, you know, they're setting up. That was a meme before this movie was even done filming. That he filmed an explosion.
Yeah.
And then that explosion is probably 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it really
out of a 3-hour movie.
And you get, well, first, it was the long build up to that, like only 2 and 2.5 minutes, which was great. But you get like little snippets. Yeah. It's so loud and jarring.
The way they have Cillian Murphy, the way he plays Oppenheimer is he's like he sees the world differently.
Yeah.
And when stuff starts to pile up and he can't handle what's going on, maybe like too much talking or like too much noise, it just starts fading into like explosions.
Yep.
And like
then after the war, after they dropped the bombs, it was a success. So he's being praised, you know, he's a savior, he's a hero, and he's giving the address, and the whole time everything's just blurring out, and he's watching their skin melt, and those effects were just so good.
I turned over to you because, like, I don't know if you heard me, but like that exact same scene, like when they started the cheers, he was like, oh, something about Russia. And everyone went crazy. Yeah. And then people were like happy and they're screaming. And they had like one kid scream in pain, like right at the end. And I was like,
dude, yeah. And you know, I was telling you, like, it felt weird to get up and go do a review on this, which we ended up being able to film late. Sorry for that, guys. But it felt weird getting up and having to be like, let's go praise the hell out of this movie because it left you feeling like.
A lot of us didn't know how we felt,
yeah,
dude.
Exactly. You walk out of there like, what? And it's like
a 3-hour history lesson.
These movies are important because one, they either remind you the people that are still around that experienced that, lived through that, were kids when this happened, or even older when this happened. And then it's, hey, this is what these things do. And by the way, nowadays ours are about 100 times more powerful.
That's the crazy part.
So it's like, it's a reminder and it's a warning almost, especially in today's climate. Like, I felt like this movie was so important.
That's exactly how the movie ended.
Yeah, it really is. Warning. Oh my God. When they do that scene, when they're talking to Robert Downey Jr., and he's like, you know, what did he say to Einstein? Because Cillian Murphy's character, Oppenheimer, meets Einstein at a pond, And when he walks away, he will not speak to Robert Downey's character. He just looks like he's walking and he looks like, and Robert Downey is stuck on it. He's like, what did he say? What did he say to him to turn Einstein against me? And at the end, his lawyer, who was kind of against him because he's an asshole, he's like, maybe they were just talking about something more important than you. And then at the very end, it flashes to that scene. He's
they
like,
were talking about.
do you remember when I brought you those calculations of how we might set the entire atmosphere on fire? And Einstein's like, and how did that go? And he's like, I think we did. And that's when he walked away, and he's just like, oh my God. And that was just like, boom! Like, it was so good.
That's a very serious payoff. Like meta payoff.
Because that happened at the very beginning, that first conversation, and you keep getting referenced through the entire movie.
It looks like when they first show it, it looks like Einstein just is mad at him for making the bomb.
Yeah,
it does.
You know, it really does.
He went to pick up Einstein's hat, and Einstein's like, "Bro, fuck out of here." I don't
it really did look like that. It looked like they were beefing.
They were talking about the future of mankind itself.
And that leads into the writing. The writing was so
very good. Very good.
And the performances of everyone. I mean, so many big actors.
Dude.
So many names. And not even just like superstar actors, like, of course, like Cillian Murphy. He's kind of on that level.
Let's get a list going. Let's get a list going.
We actually have it pulled up right here because it's so many.
We got Cillian Murphy.
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Freaking Florence Pugh. That's Midsommar.
Yep.
She did great.
She did awesome.
Emily Blunt. You can't go wrong. Josh Peck was in there.
Yeah, Josh Peck.
That was crazy. And he was like he said like what, 4 things?
Yep. Yeah, some of them didn't even have that big of roles. Dude. Like the dude who looks like Bruno Mars. What's his name?
What's his name? I know who you're talking about.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, Rami
How
Malek.
do you pronounce that?
Jack Quaid. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon did fantastic.
I love Matt Damon, dude.
He was awesome. And I just want to do a little segue with Matt Damon. When they're interviewing the Colonel, aka Matt Damon, after the fact.
Leslie something. Put it on the screen.
But they say, like, under these new guidelines, like the current guidelines, would you approve Oppenheimer? Would you clear him for the security clearance?
Yep.
And he goes, no. And he's like, but eventually he beats around the bush and he's like, no, I would not. He's like, but I wouldn't clear any of them.
None of them.
And the reason, not everybody realized this, but the few people I talked to that did loved it just as much as me. The reason he says that is because this was after the war. World War II had ended. And at the time, all the people on the board he was referring to were freaking Nazis because we conscripted all the Nazis. And he's like, yeah, so I wouldn't approve any of them. And they're like, that's not what we asked you. And I was just like, oh,
the movie is a 3-hour history lesson, man.
And like the joke he makes is like, the dude walks around, he's like, Oppenheimer's like, aren't you worried about his discretion? And the colonel's just like, we'll have him killed.
Yeah, dude,
and he's like,
hilarious.
That was a joke. And I'm like,
but it's not.
No, it wasn't. No,
but it's not.
Like, no, it wasn't.
It's a movie for humans to watch. It doesn't fit into a bracket.
And to me, you don't have to be a history buff to enjoy.
No.
You don't have to be obsessed with history or know everything about World War II to enjoy this movie. It's still just blatantly good. Like,
this
good
movie
writing,
showed
good effects,
history, and how it affected Oppenheimer after he made the bomb. That's the main point of the movie.
Yeah. And it was good.
It was
and
good.
it showed that it wasn't just one man, right?
No.
An entire freaking team.
It was a
People
village.
Uprooted their lives for
They
this,
brought their
right?
families to
because
crunch
this was
out
such
this
an important
bomb.
thing. Like, especially the Jews. The Jews were like,
yeah,
dude, like, our people are being slaughtered. Like, we gotta help. We gotta do something. But even then, so many people were opposed of it because of the doors this opened.
Yeah. I like how they had the
murder house.
They were making the bomb the whole time, but they kept referring to the hydrogen bomb the whole time.
Yeah,
dude, it's just
because that was right after.
It was right
they
after.
Keep having
man.
to go up because the Cold War started.
Dude, this movie is, it's you're gonna focus, but it's not gonna be like it's not. I feel like people, when they think of this movie, they think they have to go in and they have to pay super hard attention.
I mean, you do.
You do, but it's like this movie helps you. It helps you along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's the most like debatable subject right there is the pacing of this movie.
The pacing.
Because I've had, especially some of my younger friends, like I've had them say like, no, that movie felt long, and I didn't think so.
No.
The only pacing issue that got me, and one of my friends had the same experience as me, is once you get to that buildup of them testing and dropping the bomb, then like that big fall off right there to another crescendo, like it was really kind of off-putting and jarring at first.
There's like a whole hour and 30 left.
But like Like, yeah, like literally.
Yeah.
But then like 10 minutes back, I was right back into
it.
You know, like
and it's almost a bigger payoff than the bomb.
It literally felt like I just got slapped a little bit. Like I was jarred, and then all of a sudden I was just pulled right back in, and I was just like, oh my god, like
the ending was fantastic, and you can throw that up to Robert Downey Jr., my boy.
Yeah, God, he really played that character.
One of my
so
favorite
well.
scenes is right at the end where he walks away and gives that dude that smile.
Yeah.
Dude, just no words were said, black and white.
He goes out into the press and puts that big smile on.
Oh man, that's a fantastic shot. Award-winning shot in my opinion. That's a fire-ass shot.
For me, this movie is damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 just because like there was just a few little minute complaints I have, and I do think this movie will be talked about for quite a long time. I think this is gonna be one of Christopher Nolan's like most renowned movies, even if it's just solely because of the effects and the cinematography.
Dude, and it's such a wild movie to see from him because it's, you know, he made Inception, freaking Interstellar, and The Dark Knight, and like this movie's just dialogue.
Yeah, it really is just like pure dialogue.
And it's up there with those.
Like
I wouldn't say
there's no action scenes.
I know The Dark Knight's a touchy one to poke around at.
Yeah.
But like it's not.
You can't compare
it's
like
in a
that
different
to a
way,
superhero.
man.
Yeah,
it's in a different
whole
way.
nother realm. That's
they had action scenes of people talking.
Yeah,
that was their action
that was
scenes,
the action.
and like
that was the drama.
The heated discussions these people get into are fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
They're like they're nuts.
Yeah, like his lawyer, that dude who keeps making him eat. Like, what was his name? Macon Blair.
Dude,
damn it! Why was that so hard to find?
That was hard to find, but
we got.
Wow. Dude, he did great.
God, he was awesome.
Yeah, he
in that room, like going back and forth, he just kept
flipping through notes, like
dude, it was so good.
And they were so, dude, like they explained in the movie, but everyone was literally against him doing anything, like so. It was not a fair trial whatsoever, and just to see him go around it, it was
fantastic. It was really cool, and he refused to
lose, man. No,
he refused to stop.
Gave it all. This movie gave it its all.
So I gave it a 9 out of 10.
You gave it a 9.
What are you giving it?
I'm gonna have to say, in the history of movies, 8.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
8.5, man.
Boys.
Hit me with it, man.
I'm gonna have to give it a 9.5. This movie is
almost perfect,
dude.
If it wasn't for the scenes you're talking about, it was kind of all over the place a little bit.
And the one scene to me where they showed him having sex in the courtroom, that one was weird because it showed his wife visualizing something, not him. And no one else in the movie ever gets to be visualized except for Oppenheimer. Like
I feel like his wife earned it though.
Right.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of interesting.
You got to see this movie more than once.
Yeah, you kind of do, and I kind of want to see it again.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it.
Definitely, yeah.
And, movie was excellent. It really was.
It was fantastic.
I want to give it a 10. Perfect score, but those scenes were a little off. No, it's not perfect, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
It is damn close, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the movie. For a 3-hour-long movie to grab your attention the whole time, it was excellent.
It was fantastic.
And with that, guys, you heard it here first. Check out the video coming up soon after this. So excited to do that.
That's our atom bomb for the night.
But guys, we appreciate your support.
Awesome.
Remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for better and better content.